So today what we're going to be doing is making a map game for the elementary school for them to practice their states, capitals, and to give them a fun fact about each state. So the way it will end up looking is that you will have this, you'll have a title slide that's just showing United States of America. You'll click on it, and then you have the different states that you will be able to ask them what it is and what the capital is. So you might say to them, what is this state here? And then they would answer it, and then if you put your cursor on top of it, it's called a mouse over, and it will bring you to this, which will tell you that it's Washington, the capital is Olympia, and a fun fact. Then you want to go back and play the game and ask another state. So you would go over here and you'd click to back, and it would take me back to this so that I could go to the next one. So you would go there, you would ask them, and then it would come back. It would tell you the capital, and it will tell you the fun fact, and then you click back. So that is what you're going to do. So to do that, you are going to do it for 8 states. You have to pick 2 states in section 1, 2 states in section 2, 2 states in section 3, and 2 states in section 4. Try not to pick 2 states next to each other just because of the way you have to draw the lines, which I will show you. But try to pick ones that you don't know about, the ones that stumped you when you were in elementary school. Don't everybody pick Florida, because I'm hoping that they all know where Florida is. However, so to do this, what we'll do is we're going to go to File, New, and we're going to have it. We're going to erase these. We're going to go to the internet, and we're going to type in US map and come up with a US map of some kind for our title slide. So you can copy it, go over here, you can paste it, and I'm going to go here, and maybe this we'll do. And then we're going to go to insert a text box and call it Map Game. You may name it as long as it's reasonable and appropriate. You can name it whatever you would like. So we're going to go ahead and just make it bigger, and we will make it a color, make it bold, and we can move it and it'll be here. All right, so then we're going to make a new slide. I made a new blank one, and I'm going to go back to the internet, and I am going to choose blank ones. So I'm going to click on blank. Oops, sorry. And then there's a blank one that you can choose. And we're going to copy it, and we will paste it. And we will make it kind of big, because that will make, especially for the little states over here, that's going to get tight. All right, so now the first thing that I would do is create a box. Remember how on mine I had created these boxes that created the links to go to the pages. So we need to do that. So to do that, you're going to insert a shape, and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either click right here, and it's called freeform, and you just click and you drag and you kind of trace it. All right. You can change the shape fill if you want them all to be purple, whatever you want it to do, you can have that. The second way you can do it is if you choose a shape that is kind of sort of the shape of whatever it is you're doing. So I'm going to use Florida, And you're going to say, oh, well, that's nothing like the shape of Florida. However, if I go up here to edit shape and I click on edit points, I can then pull these points in so that I can somewhat make it look like Florida. Okay, so you can do it either way. It does not matter. So now that you have this selected, and we're going to go over here and we're going to create a new slide. And on this slide, we need to take and bring in a picture of Nebraska. We need to put the capital of Nebraska, and we need to put a fun fact about Nebraska. So we are going to go back to the internet, and if I put in, okay, well, we're going to put in map of Nebraska. And you're going to find one, and you have to try to find one that is just like the shape and the outline, because that's kind of what they're learning, is the shape and the outline. This one would work, but then you'd have to put the name of it in there. So you might just find one that's kind of like this. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to my presentation. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to make it bigger. Then I'm going to insert a text box. And on my text box, I'm going to put the capital is Lincoln. Please use capital letters. You are the example. Okay, so we're going to make it bigger, and we'll change the color, and you can underline it. You can play around with it. You can make word art, whatever. And then we're going to insert another text box. And we'll go back to the internet, and we will say fun facts about Nebraska. So this is where I had originally found that this is the birthplace of Kool-Aid. We're going to go over here. We're going to type it in, and we can do the same thing again. Make him bigger, smaller. You can also take and put your, if you go to drawing tools, I can fill my shape with yellow if that's what I wanted to do. So just play around with it. You want the kids to enjoy it. Now, if you remember on my original one, I have this back button that's here that took me back to the game. So each one of your slides is going to need to have this. So all I did was I went to insert a shape, and I selected this one, and I put it here. And then I went and I inserted a text box, and I went here and I put the word back. And I'll make it a little bigger. You can change the font. You can play with it. Whoops. And we're going to turn it a little bit. I'm going to move it. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to group this. So we need to click on this and hold the control key and click on this. And then if you are in your format, it says group, and we're going to group it. So now this is all one. Okay, so we're going to need that because what we want to do is we want to make this go back to this, right? So to do that, you're going to go to Insert, and Action, and you're going to click on, all right, so mouse click means you actually have to click on it. and then it'll take you someplace. Mouse over means you just have to take your mouse up to it and it'll automatically go. You can choose, you can pick and choose, you can do both of them, you can do one of them, just as long as you know that they're there. So we're going to do mouse click on slide, and I want it to go to slide 2, right? I want it to go from this slide to this slide. So we're going to click on slide 2 and hit OK. So now we have that. You can see that it works because it turns into that. And if I click on this and I click here, it takes me back to where I want to be. Okay, so now I have, if I'm here and I play mine and I click, now I have this. If I go to my Nebraska and I click, it takes me to this, gives me the map, the capital, and a cool fact, and then I can click here and it will take me back. All right, so quickly I'm going to do one more with you so that you understand, but you need to do 8, 2 in each of those regions that I put, and there's also a graphic on the website that will help you. So we're going to use Florida just because I have it already done. You're going to create your outline here, your shape, and you are going to insert a new slide, and we are going to go back to the internet, and we will find a map of Florida. We'll copy it. We will go back and paste it. You can put it wherever. And then we are going to insert a text box. We're going to say the capital is Tallahassee. And we can make it bigger. You can change the color, you can change the font. So, if you wanted to do something like that, just watch, make sure that it is readable. Okay. Then we're going to insert another text box, and this one is going to be about a fun fact. So here's one: Florida's a peninsula. I don't know how fun that is, but we're going to go here, and we are going to maybe center it, make it red. We'll make it bigger, and maybe we will fill the shape. So yellow for Florida. All right, what I would do now is I'd click here and I'd click on my back button, copy it, go here and paste it. So now I don't have to create that button over and over again. All right. And that one's automatically going to take me back to number 2. However, if I go here and I click on this, we haven't made it go here yet. So you now have to click on this, go to Insert, Action, a mouse click, if that's what you want, or if you want to mouse over. And now we want it to go to where? Where do we want this one to go? We want it to go to slide 4. So now I'd have slide 4, I'd hit OK, and there you go. So now if I'm here, I can click on it, I have my map, I can ask them, what state do you think this is? They'll tell you the answer, they click on it, they get the answer, they get the capital, they get a birthplace. You click back, you say, okay, pick another one. They go down here, you click on it, it will give them the name of it, the capital and a fun fact and go back. You need to do 8 states. If you have any questions, let me know.